Hello everyone, and welcome to the first devlog for By the Fire. Just my Dwarf Fortress, Cataclysm, Caves of Cut inspired game that I've been working on for a little while now. This is the first time I am doing a devlog, however I have worked on the game on and off for maybe a better part of a year now. It's a survival exploration game about seeing the world, the usual survival elements of crafting, building, foraging, cooking, and overall, hopefully creating different stories. I was heavily inspired by the games I mentioned earlier in the way that they're able to just tell stories and have a world that feels so lived in through all the simulation that they have. So I wanted to do something similar. I was also pretty inspired by the text-based graphics of Dwarf Fortress and Cataclysm, and so that's what I've got. A font where every letter is a little sprite that I need for my game. Fair enough. For a while, this game was mainly just a way for me to learn new development stuff, so whenever I had a new idea of something I wanted to create that didn't fit into any of the other games or projects I was working on, I would just throw it into this engine and into this game as a test. However, as of about 7 months ago, I decided to really put some time into this because I really liked the project it was becoming. So, here's what we've got so far. Create a new save, choose a background, which currently only decides what items you spawn with, spawn into your generated world, walk around, collect items, craft basic necessities, craft or find some weapons, kill enemies, talk and trade with NPCs, fight said NPCs, find new buildings, go through caves, build a base, watch grass grow, and so on. There's so much more that I want to add to this game, and I really want all the mechanics to have this really good simulation depth to it, so the world actually feels lived in and so we can create stories as you play. So, that's going to lead to your next question. What are we working on today? Well, I'm so glad you asked. We are going to add NPC feelings and persistence. I want you to be able to build a positive or negative rapport with NPCs, and one of the other big issues is that once an NPC is unloaded from a chunk, that's it. They're gone. You won't see them again. So I want those people that you have built a rapport with, a rap sheet, to be able to show up later, whether it's 100 chunks away or at the same place you found them. So that's what we're going to be adding today. First thing we'll start working on is getting these NPC feelings. So I'm going to start out, we just need to throw a variable into this mess of variables that the entity already has. Let's call it player, let's just go with feelings towards player. It'll start at 0, and then when we do something positive for the NPC, it'll increase. If we do something negative, it'll decrease, etc. I'll make a function real quick to handle the changes for this so we can have a sort of effect when they go positive or negative. Like, for now, I'll just make it to where the NPC gets aggressive at you if you go too low on the feeling wheel with them. Now, we do need a way to increase this feeling, so for now I'm just going to have it to where when a player trades with an NPC, they're going to feel more positively towards the player. So we'll also just go ahead and show their feeling level on screen too for testing purposes so we know what they say. So let's go ahead and test that out real quick. Do you have a trade? Nope. You? Nope. You? Damn. Oh, here we go. He wants a lighter. Let me get a lighter real quick. Let's do a trade real quick. Okay. So that actually was not the intended outcome of the program. Let me fix some things real quick and test it out again. You? Yeah, okay. Bullhorn for a crystal. Sure, yeah. And I still don't see his morale. Whoa, 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 get him. Hey, whoa, guys, get him. Hello? I don't have a weapon. Please, please, thank you. Okay, there we go. Okay, I really do not understand right now. I've changed quite a bit and I still can't see any of the variables or anything. Let's try changing this. Dude, still? Hold on a sec. Maybe it's not compiling? Oh, how fun. Compiler error. So it was just not even recompiling any of the times I was running it. Okay, let's try now. Ah, perfect. Okay, it's showing up now. So now we just need to talk to an NPC with a trade. And the entire chunk there is missing. Whatever, don't care. Trade. 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 Perfect. Bullhorn for campfire. Sure. Yeah. Let me get a bullhorn. Okay, let's trade. Wait, no. Come back. Oh, never mind. Yeah, do your thing. Okay, let's trade. Hey, there it is. After all that, number goes up or whatever. Cool. It's done. Whatever. Alright, since I added bear traps recently, I wanted the NPCs to be able to follow you around as fodder, but they should only be able to follow you when you're above a certain friendship level with them. So first we're going to go back to the code. I'm going to add a new behavior type. We'll call it follow. And then we're going to add the actual behavior code. I just made it to where if the NPCs are on the follow behavior, then they will follow the path that is pointing towards the player until they get close enough to where they will just stand there menacingly. Now I'll add a button to the NPC window to change between either follow me or stop following me. It'll only show up when their feeling is good enough. So let's go back to test. I'll be honest, I spent like 10 minutes trying to test this out before I remembered that I forgot again to compile. I don't know why my Visual Studio decided to stop auto-compiling. This is not the last time this happened. So let's just skip past all of this. Okay, now that we've got the button showing up, we can say, follow me. He says, all right, and our game crashes. Okay, so we fixed the button crash, and he is able to follow us very slowly. Kinda. He's getting there. You know what? He's coming towards us. I'll count that. Okay. I'm gonna speed it up real quick because that's too slow. Alright, we're on to part 2 of the 2-part update we're doing here. So, let's make it to where our NPCs are persistent. Because ultimately, we want to re-meet the same people. We want to say hi to Joe Schmo for the 3rd time. So, here's what I did. First, we start out by just saving all of the entity data, and then I went to go test it out. So we have to unload some chunks with entities. So let's check out what it saved. We've got, and we have, and so I do not believe that this is the correct names of the entities. I honestly, in the time I had, could not figure out what was causing this issue. I was able to get them saved most of the time, but not loaded back in. However, I did manage to get it to save specific NPCs that you have interacted with. This previous attempt was me attempting to save all entities in the map and reload them when you walked into that chunk again. That was not a fruitful endeavor. So, let's get these special NPCs to persist. I wrote the saving code off screen, not that it's very interesting. Here's some of the code for loading the NPCs. We're gonna read in a list of names of all these saved NPCs, pick one at random, and then load it in instead of a random human. We do need a way to distinguish each human, and since I'm kinda lazy, I had chat write me a random name generator. Not that it's a very good one. I'll probably be coming back to this to make it better later. I'm gonna have the name get chosen when we talk to the NPC so that they stay anonymous in the action log before we've met them. So it won't say Fibblethip swung at the zombie, it'll say human. Once we talk to them, if we meet them and find out their name is Fibblethip, then it'll say Fibblethip swung. So let's test it out. On this first attempt here, you can see that the text for the name was way too dark, and I'm not a tiefling, so I went back out and I made the color lighter. Let's check this one out. Oh, that is so much better. Okay. And now we can see his name is Ursifum. It's, exotic. Okay. As you can see, it saves all of their stats to a file with their name on it. Here's where I tried to load back into my save to find Ursfim, That's when I saw this ominous human corpse with no name. So I looked further to try to find him again, and the corpse showed up again. It's eerie as hell. I don't really like it. It's not an intended feature. Kinda do like it, actually. It's terrifying. I believe that this may have been Ursfim, and he was just mangled by my code, and his corpse was spat back into this horrid world, but I'm not able to tell for sure. So I'm going to move all of the human spawning code into its own function, because I do want these special NPCs to be able to spawn anywhere, including custom structures, but they use different spawning codes, so I want this to be universal. So as I ran all over again, looking for that friend that I made long ago, I saw it again. That wretched corpse. It wouldn't leave me alone. That's when I decided I really needed to tackle this bug. So, off on the side, I did super hacker things and tried to figure it out myself. Let's go check out this. Oh, that's it! There he is! It's Undlaft! There he is! Dude, yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh. Undlauf! I love you! There he is, dude. This is literally, okay, if I cannot get you into coding any other way, let this excitement be the thing that gets you into it. It is such a good feeling to get this freaking working. This is awesome, dude. Holy crap. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Okay, let's get back to what we need to do. I do want them to get angry too, not just happy with you. So I made it to where when you hit an NPC with something, their feelings are going to go negative. So if you're already friendly with them, they'll take a couple of strikes before they start striking back. If you don't know them, they're going to hate you immediately. Simple enough. Then I literally spent the next hour and a half trying to figure out why these angry and happy ones would not save to a file. I kid you not, it literally would not save to a file every time that I would leave the chunk. But if I placed a debug point here and watched it slowly go through each line by line, then it would save to a file. So anytime I tried to figure out the bug, it would not let me. And every time that I didn't try to, it would not save. I literally still don't fully understand it. I found out at a certain point that my chunks were not saving properly, so basically, we're going to go a little nerd talk for a second here. There's something called a smart pointer. And a smart pointer basically says, well, I will stay alive as long as somebody is talking about me. And most of the time, these smart pointers for the chunk, one person's talking about them, and that's the world controller. However, when I was saying, hey, save the entities real quick, I'm going to delete the chunk, it was saving the entities at the same time it was deleting the chunk, and so when it went to delete it, it was saying, hey, there's still somebody talking about this chunk. I'm not going to delete it yet. That somebody that was talking about it was the entity saving function that needed to read that chunk. So, ultimately, it wasn't deleting any of the chunks, which also was a memory leak issue, because then every time you loaded new chunks, it wouldn't delete any of the old ones, and it would overwrite the old NPCs with garbage data. So, back to simple terms, it didn't work. But after all of that time, hour and a half trying to figure it out, it works. Most of the time. It just works. It's fantastic. It's awesome. So now you can meet NPCs, you can strike them in the face with a rock, and they will find you again. And they will be angry when they find you. Or you can trade with an NPC, get friendly with him, and when you run into him again, he's going to have better trades, and he's going to want to follow you around. Anyways, if you guys liked what you watched, please give it a like, subscribe, that would be awesome. And please, 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 down below, leave any suggestions that you guys think would be awesome in a game like this. I'm making a game partly for myself, but also partly so that people can play it. And I want people who play it to enjoy what they're playing. So if you've got any ideas or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. And maybe, just maybe, I will add a couple of them next time I put out a devlog. Anyways, that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.